All right, Jordan. So what do I do with this first one?
The 6 in.
Can I pull the 6 out? GCF, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so GCF. Right, that's your first step. So you're going to pull out the 6, you said. Okay, so 6 goes into 6. How many times? 1. Okay, how many times does 6 go into 36? 6. Okay. How many times does 6 go into 96?
12.
Well, 6 goes into 9 once, right? With 3 left over. So, and then 36, how many times?
6.
6. That wasn't that bad, right? Okay. Should I bring this down a little bit? Let's see. 8n minus 64 all over 6n squared minus 36n minus 96. And so then we pull out the 6 and we said that goes in n squared minus 36. Oh wait, minus 6n. And then minus 16 because of the 3 there, right? So we got that. That way I got more space. Alright, cool. So then what do I do? Antonio. Now what? Not sure? Anthony. Yeah. So I know I've got the 6 out here. It'll always be out here, right? But I've also got this guy. So I got to bring out that star variable, right? But the star, there is no star, right? You see a star out here? No, I don't see no star, right? So it's just going to be n and n. Okay? And then this goes right there. And this tells me that these are what? The same or different?
Same.
What? Why different? It's a difference, right? It's a difference. So these are different. Okay? That means this has to be, if this is different than this, what does this have to be? Positive. Okay? Alright, now I need 2 numbers that multiply to be 16, but they are different by 6. So in other words, they subtract to be 6. 2 numbers that multiply to be 16, but subtract to be 6. Can you think of any 2 numbers that are possible for this? 8 and 2. Okay? 8 and 2 are possible to do this. Right? 8 times 2 is 16. 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay? So it's 8 and 2. Okay? So far we know we have 6 on the top. We have n minus 8 on the top. And we have n plus 2 on the top. Yeah? Okay? Then how do we break down the bottom? Skylar, what goes into 8 and 64? Skylar. What goes into 8 and 64?
That's
Tyler. I didn't say
Skyler.
Jeez. And he's like, I'm not answering. Tyler! What goes into 8 and 64? 8? Is that what you said?
I think.
Yeah.
You think that's what you said?
No, I think it's. I don't fucking know.
It is 8. Right? And so now I can break this down into 8 and n minus 8. Right? So now I say, well, what goes into 6 and 8? What goes into 6 and 8? 2, right? 2 goes into 6 and 8, right? How many times does 2 go into 6? 3. 2 goes into 8? 4, right? So that's a nice little quick way of breaking that down. Does n minus 8 cancel out with anything up top? With n minus 8, right? They're the same. Look at that. Snap, crackle, pop. So, we're left with this. Okay? But, what can n not be? Remember, all of this n cannot be. But does it matter about the 8? I can't change an 8, right? An 8 is an 8 is an 8, correct? 8's just 8. It's not going to change. But what will change is the n minus 8. n minus 8 cannot go to 0. So what do? Add 8. So n cannot be 8. That's it. That's it. See that right there? Yeah? No? Go for it. All right. Ready? Let's do a hard one. It's getting too easy. Okay? This is too easy. Give me something difficult. Throw something at me. So they did. Woo, did they? Okay. What do I do? Cash. To start this off. What goes into 5, 36, and 32? Me neither. Because nothing. Right? Just 1. 1. 5 doesn't go into 32, right? It's prime. And it doesn't go into 32. So therefore, there's no GCF. Okay? And there's not an R in every single one. So we need to just move to the next step. And the next step is, so we got GCF, right? That's your first step. The second step is what? Parentheses, star variable. Okay? So cash. What's my star?
5.
Yes. Good, you're learning. My star is 5, so I'm going to put a 5 in both of them. And I'm going to put an R in both of them, because that's the variable. Okay? All right. Jordan, what's my sign in the first section?
Minus.
Yes.
And then the other one's plus, right?
And the other one's plus. Why is it plus?
It's gotta be different.
That's right. So this comes up. That's minus. This tells me that these are different. So this has to be plus. Man, Jordan is paying attention. Miracles do happen. All right, Antonio. The hardest part here. Okay. Set number 4, right, is my product and my sum. Okay. So something, the product is, Antonio, what is the product? If you don't know the number, just tell me the numbers that you're multiplying. Nope, the sum is 36 though. The sum is 36. The product is 5 times 32, which is a lot, right? A big freaking number. 160. Okay? Okay? So what do I do with the 160? Well, I break it down. 160, I break it down, and I say, well, that's a 2, and that's an 8. And I say that's a 2, and that's a 4. I say that's a 2, and that's a 2. I say that's a 2, and that's a 1. I say that's a 2, and that's a 5. That's a 5, and that's a 1. Those are a lot of numbers. Okay? But remember, we're trying to subtract, right? Subtract to be 36. So I need some number that's bigger than 36, right? Well, what's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, first of all? So when you have 5 2s, you know how big that is? 2 to the 5th?
16.
How much? No, one more than 16. 5 2s, 2 to the 5th, 32. 32, good. Okay? So 32 is not big enough, right? So I obviously have to use a 5 in the first number, right? Now, if I use it all the way up to here, up to 80, 80 minus 2, that's not going to work, right? So, what if I go up to here to 40, right? See how I'm doing that? I'm just using, I know I have to use the 5, and really the only other things are the 2's, right? So I'm just using it to go up to 40. And what's 40 minus 2 times 2, which is 4? Right? How much is that? 36. So that's 40 times 4 is going to still give me 160. And 40 minus 4 is 36. So 40 and 4. Now, the last step though. The last step is cleanup. Star cleanup. So what goes into 5? What goes into 5?
5 and 1.
5 and 1. Say no more. Okay? So one of these 5 goes into and one of them it doesn't. Which one does 5 go into?
The left one.
The left one. So I go 1 and 8. Right?
Yeah.
And then this is 1, so this is 5r plus 4. So I've got r minus 8. Let's put that a little lower, since I'm going to be messing with this guy. So I got r minus 8 times 5r plus 4. Okay? Alright. So that's the top part.
Isn't it squared?
Hmm?
No, never mind. Never mind.
Okay. So the bottom part. So the bottom part.
Here, that's one.
Oh, you know.
Just came. Week already.
What do I do? What goes into 15, 147, and 216? Well, 216 is even. I know there are only 2 things go into 15. It's 3 and 5, right? Well, 5 doesn't go into 216 because it doesn't end in 5. But does 3 go into 216? 15 goes into 15. But 5 doesn't go into either 147 or 216, does it?
No.
No. Yeah. So what goes into, what else goes into 15 other than 5? 3. Does 3 go into 216?
Yeah.
How do I know?
Add them up. 21. Is that how we're going to do it?
Yes, add them up. So 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 6 is 9. And that's divisible by 3, right?
Yep.
Okay. What's 1 plus 4?
5.
Plus 7?
12.
And 12 is divisible by 3? Okay. So these are divisible by 3. So let's divide it by 3. 3 goes into 15.
5.
5. R cubed. Okay. 3 goes into 147. Well, 3 goes into 14 4 times, right? With 2 left over. 3 goes into 27. 9 times with r squared left over. 3 goes into 21 7. 3 goes into 6 1 or twice, right? Does anything else go into all of these numbers? R? Yeah, definitely. We can take out an r. That gives us 5r squared minus 49r, right? Plus 72. Okay? So now I know that I have a 3r. So 3r is going to be here no matter what. Okay? What else do I got? Well, do I have a star? Okay? So that means that this pin sucks. Oh, so close. I'm losing my touch. Like I never had one. Alright, so I got 5r in both of them. Right? Okay, then I bring down the minus. And this tells me what?
Different.
No. Same. Plus means same. Remember, sum, same. Sum, same. Different, difference. If there's a difference, then they are different. If it's a sum, then they are the same. Okay? So since they have to be the same, they're both minus. Alright. So now I need the product. The product is 5 times 72, which is 350 plus 10, which is 360. And the sum is 49. And that means two things that are going to add, because it is a sum problem, right? To be 49, that means I need two numbers that are lower than 49 that multiply to be 360. Again, I need to break down the whole 360. Alright, 2. What is that? 18? 2. What is that? 9? 2. What is that? 45? 3? That 15? 3? What's that? 5? 5? 1? Alright. That gives me all the numbers I can deal with. Now I could use 45 and 8, but that's not going to be 49, is it? Alright, well that didn't work out. But I know it's something close to that. Right? So maybe I take 3 and 5, which is 15, and times it by 2. Right? What would that give me? 3 times 5? 15 times 2? 30. And I'm going to add that to 3 times 2 times 2. Well, 3 times 4 is what? 12? That would be 42, but I'm looking for 49. I was so close. Any other ideas? How about a 5 and a couple of 2s? That would be 20, right? Times 2 would be 40, right? How about all 3? So that would be 40, right? Plus 3 times 3, which is 9. See where I'm going with that? Bingo. Alright, so 40 and 9. Right? And then I take out, what am I taking out? A 5, right? So, which one does 5 come out of? The first one or the second one? First one. That means the 1 comes out of this one. So I've got R minus 8, and I've got 5R minus 9. So R minus 8 and 5R minus 9. Okay? Let's do the hard part first. What can X not be? Look how hard this is. 0, 8, and 9 over 5. What? Is it that easy? Yeah. Right? I just do it in my head. This can't be 0, right? Well then 0. What minus 8 is 0. 8, right? And then this one's just the opposite of this divided by that. It's easier than throwing a pin in the basket. It's a little easier. Because I can't do it. Obviously. Alright? And then I just cancel these out. And I get 5r plus 4 divided by 3r times 5r minus 9, whereas x cannot be 0, 9 over 5. Why did 9 over 5 come before 8? Because you put them in order from smallest to biggest, right? And that's it. Cake.